Three, two, one.
What is up, my gorgeous Goonies?
What's up?
What up? It's your boys, Jay Millie,
And JP
back at it for another video.
at the
Bright Night Podcast.
Yes, sir. Bright Night Podcast.
Yes, sir.
BMP.
Yep. Speaking on that, we've discussed briefly, but I want to get the opinion of our audience where we're kind of thinking about changing it from a podcast. Because we don't really have a standard podcast as of right now.
No, the structure of it's completely different.
Yes, I would agree.
Yeah.
Normally, a podcast, you would bring someone on every single time
And interview them.
and interview them. You're a host to them.
Yeah.
This is more so a talk show
Yeah.
where we're just talking about whatever it is we want to talk about that day.
Yeah.
So, what do you think we should call this show? Should it be a talk show? Should it be something different? Or should we just completely change it up in the brightest night, or, change up our name completely and not even put one of those words in it to where it's not classified as anything and it's just its own unique show? So whatever you think we should do, put it down in the comments. Let us know. We appreciate all your support, and we'll go from there. And
Yeah. While you're leaving a comment, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.
yes, sir.
Turn on post notifications and hit that like button.
Yeet.
So, man, what I want to talk about today. Today I was talking to my grandpa.
Okay.
My grandpa is a man of very few words.
Okay.
I asked him, I said, Grandpa, have you lived a happy life? He said, yeah, I believe so. I said, well, what's your secret? Why do you think you've lived this happy life? And he kind of took a minute and was like, honestly, I don't have a problem with life. I've never had an issue in it. Said everything's just come pretty easy. And thinking back, my grandpa never complains ever about anything.
Right.
And maybe that's the secret to having a happy life,
Right.
is being able to see the good side of it, never complaining, and never making up excuses.
I like that, because you can take a bad situation and find some good out of it.
Yeah.
You may not like the situation, it may not have been the outcome you wanted, but you can find some good or a positive note out of any situation.
For sure.
And I think that comes back to what me and you talk about all the time, which is having a strong mindset.
Yeah, it's all about mindset.
I agree.
Literally, having a happy life is having a good mindset. And I feel that success in life should not be determined by material possessions or how much money you earn. It should be determined by whether or not you lived a happy life.
Right.
If you look back at the end of your life and think, man, I lived a good life, then you were successful in life.
Right. No matter what you did, no matter, what job you had, what you accomplished, if you are satisfied with it, if you enjoyed, the memories you made, your life was successful.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people would try to bring you down. Oh, that's what you do for a job, or oh, you've not made it this far yet. Well, look what I've done. But if you're happy, what else matters?
Exactly.
So I agree. That's a good point. And a lot of people tend to make excuses when they don't get what they want, and then that's why they're unhappy.
Well, I think that's kind of human nature. We
Right.
all do that because we kind of don't want to take that responsibility, and we want to say somebody else did it or something else controlled it. Like me
And-
personally,
Go ahead.
I've done that before multiple times.
Right.
Like, for example, with basketball, I've told you multiple times, dude, I'm not good. I don't have that talent.
Mm-hmm.
But really, what it all boils down to is I'm not willing to put in the effort it takes to get good.
Right.
You weren't always good at basketball.
Very true. I was actually quite bad because I was always a baseball player.
Yeah.
So then halfway through middle school, I was like, I want to try out basketball. I was terrible. I was pretty bad. But
Yeah.
I kept at it. I didn't make excuses. Well, I did make excuses. Let me take that back. I did make excuses, but my dad, he's an extremely, extremely smart guy. And he taught me that you can't make excuses even if you can't control the situation. So even if it's out of your control, even if the coach don't like you, you can still make it work, and you can still be the best you possible to where it don't matter if you don't like you. They're not going to win if they don't play you.
Right.
So he instilled that in me at a young age. So, I've stuck with that. And even in high school, right, my freshman year, I was on the freshman team. Most people, if they're anywhat good, they're not on the freshman team, even though they're young freshmen, they're on at least JV. Right.
Yeah.
In general. Not saying it can't happen. I mean, Michael Jordan's a good example that he wasn't on the varsity team, but look what he became.
One of the greatest.
One of the greatest ever. So
Yeah.
I was on the freshman team my freshman year. My sophomore year, I was on the JV team. And then my junior year, I was the captain of my varsity team. Granted, small school, small town, that's not that impressive. But a lot of people would look at me being a freshman and say, this kid's never going to amount to anything. He's never going to be a good ball player. He might as well give up and try something else.
Bro, that's impressive to me. 'Cause I'm terrible at ball.
I put the time in. That's all it comes down to.
You have.
I
I feel like you're a better ball player now than you were in high school even.
would agree.
Because you've continued
It's a lot.
practicing
Yeah.
every single day.
It's a love of mine. So
Yeah.
I continue doing it. And that's the mindset you got to have. Anything you want to accomplish in this world, it don't matter who tells you you can't do it. It don't matter what obstacles are in your way. Because even if those are legitimate excuses that give you a disadvantage on everybody else, you can still turn that situation around and make it go in your favor and get whatever you want in this world.
Yeah.
You just can't focus on the excuse. You got to focus on what you can control.
Well, I think that's one of the biggest things too, is a lot of people are lazy. They're not willing to put in the work that it takes.
Right.
But literally, you can accomplish anything you want in life as long as you're willing to do whatever it takes.
Make the sacrifice. Put in the effort.
Yes, sir.
Do what everyone else won't. And that's how you become the best.
Like Michael Jordan.
Right. The successful people in this life don't make excuses. They find a way.
Yeah.
No matter the situation, they find a way to make it work. If you have that mindset, you're going to better your life 100 times over.
Yep.
Because that's what it comes down to. Having the right mindset. And a lot of people,
All
schools
mindsets,
don't
man.
focus on your mindset. That's a problem. They
No.
leave it to the parents, but then what if the parents don't have a good mindset?
And see, that's what I was talking to you about the other day. Like, I ended up going and watching The Lion King, the new one, and there was one point in particular where Mufasa was talking to Simba, and he was teaching him life lessons. And it's like, why isn't that stuff taught?
Right.
Like, I know book smarts are important.
But why not
and
have
we
both?
need it.
Why not have...
Exactly, but why not have life lessons and teach kids to think a certain way where it's going to make them a better individual instead of a better worker?
Right. I agree completely. That's a whole new topic on schools. Me and you have discussed it a little bit about the corruption in schools and how they want you to get good at following orders and not be a creative person. They don't want you thinking outside the box. They want you following the orders.
Yep.
And that's a big problem.
It is a big problem. And I mean, we can come back and touch on that in a later video.
Right. That's a whole new...
Oh, man.
We've discussed it intensely.
That'd be like a 2-hour long
We already have a problem with long videos, so...
Yes, sir.
In closing, have a good mindset. Don't let excuses define what you can accomplish.
Because you can literally accomplish anything in this world as long as you are determined, you have the perseverance, and you're willing to put forth the effort.
Yep, comes down to the sacrifices. If you don't do what it takes, you're not going to get there. If you're the one sitting on the sideline making excuses, the coach don't like me, guess what? You'll never make it to where you want to get. If you're working your ass off every single day, he can't not play you.
Exactly.
And that's just one example. It could be with work. It could be with any part of your life. You can add that with it, or add value to your life with it. That's why I love sports.
Yeah.
Because they teach you so much about life in general, just by what you learn on the court or on the field.
So basically,
In
to
closing,
wrap it up, you're saying whatever it is you do, go out and be the best at it.
Mhm.
Set in your heart to be the best
Right.
and practice like the best.
Right. Be your best.
Exactly.
You don't have to be...
Compete with yourself.
Right,
And
right.
better every single day.
Because if you compare yourself against the very best right now, you don't compare at all. If I compare myself to Michael Jordan, why would I go back out on the court and try again?
But you're better than what you used to.
But I'm better than...
That's what matters.
Right, because I have something that I'm aiming for. I'm getting better than what I was, not trying to compete with Michael Jordan.
And I feel like everybody that is viewing this video could do the exact same.
With any aspect of your life.
Yes, sir.
Just don't make the excuse. And a lot of people don't realize they're making the excuse in the first place.
Right.
Because it could be a legitimate problem. So just focus on what you can control, not on the outside factors, and you'll be successful in whatever it is you want to do.
And also, if you really want to be successful, hit that subscribe button, turn on post notification, and give us a thumbs up.
Until next time, boom, peace.